Hey guys, welcome back. BDC Care here. We're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is for the week of February 23rd, 2023. The current character challenge is for Earth 2 Solomon Grundy. That is a 1-week repeat. The required characters for that are Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Sinestro, who are available at the Silver, Bronze, and Bronze tier respectively. If you're looking at sort of the lowest tier, you're able to get them. His passive is Death and Decay, which is when Solomon Grundy is in combat, his death aura does a damage over time to the enemy, chance to decay a piece of gear for the whole match on tag-in, and also opponents gain power twice as slow when they fight Solomon Grundy or any of his Earth 2 teammates. He's got 1,100 attack, 1,300 health, and was last available on the 28th of April, 2022.
Okay. So he's got decent stats. And what keeps him from being a great character is he's Solomon Grundy.
Yeah.
They're all slow. Some of them are slower than others, so he's not awful if you use just his tap attack, but he's pretty slow.
But the actual experience of playing him can be a little frustrating in a way that doesn't necessarily show up in his stats.
Right. If you want to use him for basic attacks. The good thing is, though, as a specialist, as your main damage dealer, he's got 3 passive abilities. He's actually decent to play. You're watching footage of him right now. And in the middle of it, I'm going to switch at one of the gears so you can see a minor variation. So 3 passives. The damage over... Not 3 passives. Technically 3 passive abilities. 3 abilities within his 1 passive.
Yeah.
So the damage over time is nice. It isn't fight changing. There just isn't enough of it. The chance to disable 1 piece of gear for the whole fight compared to Claw of Horus, which is until tag out, or Dawn of Justice Superman for 1 minute, that can shift the entire fight.
Yeah.
The percentage is low. I can't remember what it is, but it's less than half the time. But when it happens, it is so satisfying. And the third ability, the power dampening, is, I think, what you can really build the team around.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a few multiplayer videos highlighting Earth 2 Solomon Grundy. You're also watching one right now in the background. The most interesting part is how instead of having a full Earth 2 team, which would seem like the obvious thing to do, right? You got a universe of characters, you stack them all together. Since, in addition to it's not just a name, they all have synergy. So the surprising thing is, I'm thinking that switching out Earth 2 Hawkgirl for Killer Frost is even better, because what you're doing is dampening them down to the opponent to 0 power generation. Mm-hmm. So Master's Death Cart becomes a non-power generating gear. And that most of the time you only have to worry about Tantu Totem or people who start with power.
Yeah.
Or people who steal power. Rebirth
Which is
Raven.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you... Who else? Tantu Totem, Killing Joke Joker. There's a handful of people, right? But most of the time you're just really... You've crippled the other team. Mm-hmm. That's not a great word. That's ableist talk, right? Mm-hmm. Language. So what you've done is you've completely rendered the other team a basic damage dealing team.
Yeah.
Which is not nearly as much damage output.
Mm-hmm.
So despite having mostly defensive passives, we still like them a lot because you've got all 3 gear slots on each of your 3 characters. So all 9 gear slots on your team to boost your damage. And in the footage you're watching this time, in a further twist, not only do we not have 3 Earth 2 characters on the team, mm-hmm. we only have the one. We've only got Earth 2 Solomon Grundy. We have swapped in Hawkgirl. And it just means that you lean into the tagging and tagging out. You have a higher chance of disabling gears with Solomon Grundy's passive.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could go for Tantu Totem and Master's Death Cart both on Earth 2 Solomon Grundy, or you could even split them and let Killer Frost have one of them and then really lean into the quick tag-ins.
Yeah.
The main problem with that strategy is if you face a Joker that has Quake Engine, it forces you to wait longer before your next tag-in. Or against Arkham Knight Harley Quinn, I guess maybe even Gaslight Batman, where they're entry hazards and it acts as a deterrent for tagging out and tagging in. Mm-hmm. But it's still a fun team, really effective.
And this is a great team that specifically highlights Solomon Grundy.
Yeah.
Above and beyond anybody else on the team, and just uses them sort of for extra effects.
Yeah.
So this is the 144th week of a repeating pattern that started in May of 2020. We've had 3 complete runs of a 43-week cycle, and we are 15 weeks into our 4th cycle next week should be static given the pattern that's been going on for a very long time now.
I'm looking forward to static. He and Rebirth Raven make such a great team, and we played Rebirth Raven not too long ago, and I'm really looking forward to playing him again because there's something about the team that's really fun.
Mm-hmm. And 23 characters are missing from that 43-week cycle, just as a reminder that were available at one point. Anyways, this week's multiplayer award is the Overpowered Pill, which becomes the Overpowered Super.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's maxed out, it gives you a 50% damage boost to basic attacks, 50% crit chance on basic attacks, a 90% life drain chance on combo ender, and its evolved ability, which is a 100% chance to drain 15% power on combo ender. This one was last available on the 21st of July 2022. We're 112 weeks in a row of this pattern. That's 3 complete cycles of 31 rewards and 19 in that 4th cycle with nothing missing. Next week, we should expect to see Flashpoint Aquaman, given the sort of cycle that we're on.
Right. And I do want to point out that this is one of those weeks where we're demonstrating both the challenge reward and the multiplayer reward. The Overpowered Super is an excellent piece of gear for basic damage dealer.
Yeah.
It's got the highest crit chance for basic damage possible, 50%, so that a max augmented card can get as close as 100% crit on basics as the game allows. And it comes at a bit of a cost. Damage boost is only 50% instead of what you can get with other cards of 70%. But there's 2 combo ender effects, health drain and power drain on top of it. So there's a huge amount of synergy, right? These all 4 abilities are for basic damage dealer. I'm not the biggest fan of combo enders, but the other 2 abilities make up for it. And what you're seeing demonstrated here is that when you put it on a character with Astro Harness, because you are right up against them and they're totally wide open when you start your combo and they're attacking you, the distance, the separation is really minimal, and it seems like that makes a difference for triggering more combo enders, so you're getting more of the effect. So in my mind, this is the platonic ideal of gear for basic damage dealer, the same way that Tantu Totem is for special specialists and Astro Harness is for tanks. And so I guess it would almost be ironic, I think, to show that in order to maximize its effect, we're using Astro Harness with it. Effectively, really good. Yeah,
so there we go. Moving on to the store, we have the Static Challenge Pack for 200,000 credits, and that gives you a 6.16% chance of getting Static in the pack instead of your regular 2.86% chance. It doesn't unlock in the store, it's just the sort of one copy by itself, unlike when you actually complete the challenge. And speaking of completing the challenge, this is the second piece of evidence, that and the fact that it's next up in the cycle, that Static is going to be showing up next week.
Right.
So we've run the math, and the math tells us that this is not a good deal unless Static is basically the only character you want. If you only want Static and maybe 1 or 2 other guys, and everybody else you're going to instantly sell back for the money, then this pack is a slightly better deal. But in any other circumstance, if there's more than sort of 2 or 3 people total that you would keep from a challenge pack, then it makes more sense to just buy the regular challenge pack and not this one.
Right. And I should point out too, this is most of the time when you look at the challenge pack, we make the inference that the chance is 2.86% because they list a few of them, but they don't list all of them. In this case, the challenge pack, the original one, the regular one, shows Static. So it's a direct comparison. So it's not just an inference that we're making. This
is guaranteed.
It is that those are the actual numbers we're working with a little bit of certainty.
So there we go.
Yeah.
We also have the Arkham Pack 1. That's for $24.99 Canadian. That's the price that we're going to be talking about all of these packs in Canadian dollars, because that's where we are.
That's the only currency that matters.
Yeah, of course. And so this was available twice in 2022, once in 2021. It's always been this price for the past, couple of years. And it says that it contains 3 powerful random gold cards in the Arkham series, and the new, just added, Arkham Knight Batman, Arkham Knight Harley Quinn, and the Arkham Knight. And so you get a sort of 10% chance of Arkham Knight Batman, Arkham Knight Catwoman, Arkham Knight the Arkham Knight, 10% chance for all of those, and 10% chance as well for Arkham Origins Bane, Batman, and the Joker, and then it says 40% chance of gold character.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, it's the description is an old description. So when they say new, it was new like years ago.
Yeah, it was new in like 2021.
Yeah. So I want to point out that 40% gold character with, they name 6 characters, each 10%. They say 40% of gold character. You think, okay, so maybe there's 10 characters. Not true. What you do is you get another 10% chance of Arkham Knight Harley Quinn, 15% of Arkham Origins Deathstroke, and 15% of Arkham Harley Quinn, which are the 2 characters in the not so good Arkham Pack, the not as good Arkham Asylum Pack. And the sad thing is that we're still missing, based on our previous openings, we're still missing Arkham Killer Croc and Arkham Knight Batgirl from this pack.
And you'd expect if they added them that they would tell you that it was new, just added,
new part. Right? Yeah.
Instead of the characters that have been around for years.
It's saying new, 2-year-old news, brand new.
Yeah, you'd assume that they would actually update
if they went through the effort of updating.
And the numbers would probably change also.
And it wouldn't have to change that far. You have room for at least one more without changing any percentage.
Yeah.
Like everybody could be 10%.
But if you added 2.
Yeah, you could maybe how many is that? That's like 11 characters and make 9% each.
Yeah. But anyways, we also have in the store the character bundle Suicide Squad for its second week. That's, $24.99 Canadian. And that comes with Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad Joker, and then a 35% chance each of the signature gears and a 10% chance each of the 3 Suicide Squad companion gears. And you get 2 gears for that. In terms of other stuff that we've had around for a while now, like more than a year at this point, character bundle Batman Universe, 64 weeks, Most Wanted Pack, 71 weeks. And the celebration packs, the 300 nth metal packs, we've got the Aquaman, Shazam, and Joker ones, 56 weeks for Shazam and Joker, and 58 weeks for Aquaman.
Right.
Yeah.
What else we got? I don't think there's anything. Oh, Phantom Zone. 1 more week left. Fight 62 is still broken. Last weekend's breakthrough for golds was Joker, Nightwing, and Darkseid. Like we expected, this coming weekend's is probably Zod, Aquaman, and Shazam. Link
in the description to a Reddit thread from Devlin16 with the complete breakthrough cycle if you want to peruse that in your own time.
Yeah.
And
this is the part where we should be talking about the glitches.
Yeah, so normally we would say that, nothing has changed, so we'll go into the full explanation next week, but
Something changed,
yeah.
And not for the better.
So right now, the thing that we normally talk about here being, you can do the challenge reset, tested and confirmed. You can do Phantom Zone rewards. You cannot do either Phantom Zone reset, Crystal reset, or the challenge reset at the moment.
Right. Because the message that we're getting on our Android devices, Injustice requires 1 or more Google Play services that are not currently available. Please contact the developer for assistance. And that means that you cannot log into your Google Play account on Injustice, and that's required for both of those glitches, which are essentially the same thing.
Yeah, it's an important part.
Yeah.
So, in the past, this has happened once before.
3 years ago, I think. It felt like more recently, but when I was looking over notes, it was 3 years ago.
Yeah. And so what's important about that is that last time something happened, right?
Yep.
So last time they pushed an update that was just a bug fix. That didn't have any sort of content. And so now is when we sort of wait and see. And hopefully they do the same thing again. Hopefully there's at least enough going on that they're willing to post a bug fix instead of just sort of letting this keep the way that it is. Because this would also be unfortunate for people trying to transfer to a new device. Right. This would be a loss. Well, you
have to use WBID.
Yeah, this would be a loss in functionality. Not like a death blow.
Right.
Not like any one thing is going to kill it at this point, but that would be unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, challenge reset is the best glitch ever.
Yeah.
It encourages you to play more. You do get more than you should, but it comes with playing more, which is, I think, the way stuff like this works. It gets you doing, it just, you get more enjoyment and I guess a bigger fix of the game, which is what the developers probably want.
Playing the challenge basically just gives you an increased rate of getting stuff, right? You get a little bit more stuff per hour you play, and it just lets you be on that sort of increased rate of reward track for longer, for as long as you want. Which is, in my opinion, a good thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, that's the glitch update, is that there's less stuff working than last time, which is unfortunate.
And that's it for this week. So a big thank you to our supporters on Patreon. I usually like to say patrons on Patreon, but then I always stumble over it, and I stumbled over it anyways, even when I tried to avoid it. So what was the point? Our patrons on Patreon, that's Korey Ashcraft, supporting us at the top tier last word, Michael Devries, Irvin Ruiz, Hoshi 127, Drew Chapman, who are supporting us on the credit level, and all the other fine folks you're seeing on the screen who have supported us during this pandemic.
Yeah, so thank you so much for your support, and thanks so much to all of you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Komoda.